In 1997, a U.S. Navy hydrophone array picked up a sound from the deep Pacific Ocean. A sound so low, so massive, so impossibly powerful that scientists gave it a nickname, the Bloop. It was louder than a blue whale, louder than any creature ever recorded by science. The official explanation came almost 20 years later. They said it was just ice cracking in Antarctica. But here's the thing. Nobody who heard that recording for the first time believed that. And by the end of this video, you won't either. Picture a shark the size of a city bus. A mouth so wide a fully grown man could stand inside it without ducking. Teeth 18 centimeters long, serrated like steak knives, capable of crushing the skull of a humpback whale like an eggshell. This animal was real. Its name was Carcharocles megalodon, and science tells us it went extinct 3.5 million years ago. But what if science is wrong? What if the largest predator that ever lived never actually disappeared? The megalodon ruled the oceans for more than 20 million years. To put that in perspective, that's 100 times longer than the entire existence of the human race. It had no rivals, no predators, no competition. It could generate a bite force of over 40,000 pounds per square inch, almost 10 times stronger than a great white shark and 3 times stronger than a Tyrannosaurus rex. When this thing closed its jaws on a whale, the whale didn't fight back. It simply ceased to exist. Fossilized teeth have been found on every continent except Antarctica, in Japan, in Peru, in Morocco, even in the deserts of the United States where ancient oceans once existed. This creature was everywhere. And here's the unsettling part. We have only explored about 5% of our oceans. 5%. Which means 95% of the largest habitat on Earth is still completely unknown to us. In 1875, during the legendary scientific expedition of the HMS Challenger, researchers dredged up 2 megalodon teeth from the floor of the Pacific Ocean. When the teeth were later analyzed using the manganese dioxide dating method, the results were staggering. One tooth was estimated to be around 24,000 years old. The other, only 11,000 years old. 11,000. That means while the first humans were learning to farm wheat in Mesopotamia, the megalodon may have still been swimming beneath them. Mainstream science later disputed that dating technique, but it was never definitively disproven. And it raises a question nobody likes to answer. How do you explain a tooth that should be 3 million years old looking practically fresh? In 1918, off the coast of Port Stephens in Australia, a group of experienced lobster fishermen reported something that haunted them for the rest of their lives. A ghostly white shark, they said, at least 100 feet long, over 30 meters, rose from the deep and devoured their iron lobster traps, ropes and all. These weren't tourists. These were hardened seamen who had spent their entire lives on the water. They refused to return to that stretch of coastline, ever. In 1933, a steamship called the SS Britannia was attacked near Indonesia by what its captain described as a shark of impossible size. In the 1960s, a fishing vessel near the Philippines pulled up a tuna, a fully grown bluefin, that had been bitten clean in half by a jaw the marine biologists could not identify. The bite radius measured nearly 2 meters wide. The Mariana Trench plunges nearly 11 kilometers into the Earth's crust. The pressure down there is over 1,000 times greater than at the surface, enough to crush a human body instantly. No manned submarine can stay there for long. We have sent more people to the moon than to the bottom of the Mariana Trench. And it is exactly in these forgotten zones that creatures we thought were extinct keep showing up alive. Take the coelacanth, a prehistoric fish science declared extinct 65 million years ago. Then, in 1938, a South African fisherman pulled one out of his net. Alive, swimming, breathing. An entire species had hidden from humanity for 65 million years. If a fish the size of a man can do that, why couldn't a shark hide for just 3? Or consider the megamouth shark, a species so massive and so strange that it was completely unknown to science until 1976. Think about that. A shark over 5 meters long, weighing more than 1,000 kilos, swimming in our oceans, and we didn't even know it existed until the year of the American bicentennial. In 2013, a deep-sea camera mounted off the coast of Japan recorded a shadow passing beneath a school of tuna. Marine biologists who analyzed the footage estimated the silhouette at over 20 meters in length. There is no known shark species alive today that reaches that size. None. The great white maxes out at 6 meters. The whale shark, a filter feeder, can reach 18, but a whale shark doesn't move like a predator. The shadow in that footage did. In 2014, the carcass of a great white shark, itself nearly 3 meters long, washed ashore on the coast of Australia with a bite mark so massive the marine biologists called it the impossible bite. The circular wound was nearly 3 meters in diameter. The official explanation? Another, bigger great white. But the largest great white ever reliably documented was barely 7 meters. The math doesn't add up. And then there's the persistent sonar data. Naval vessels patrolling the deep Pacific have repeatedly logged enormous biological signatures, what sailors call biologics, moving slowly at depths of over 2 kilometers. These signatures are too large for any known whale, too slow for any known shark. The military, predictably, has never released the full data. But let's be fair. Before you start canceling your beach vacation, you need to hear the other side. A predator the size of a megalodon would need to consume more than 1,000 kilos of meat every single day to survive. To maintain a breeding population, you'd need hundreds, maybe thousands of these animals. And we would notice. Carcasses would wash ashore. Attacks on ships, on whales, on submarines would be regular events. We don't see that unless the megalodon evolved. Unless, over millions of years, it adapted. Maybe it got smaller. Maybe it learned to hunt in the cold, lightless trenches where sperm whales dive to feed on giant squid. Maybe it changed color, lost its surface hunting instincts, and became something we wouldn't even recognize anymore. A ghost of its former self, but still very much alive. There's a deeper reason this story refuses to die. It's not just about a shark, it's about the unknown. The ocean is the last true wilderness on this planet. We have mapped the surface of Mars in better detail than we have mapped our own seafloor. Every year, scientists discover hundreds of new marine species. In 2023 alone, over 5,000 new sea creatures were cataloged. 5,000 in 1 year. So when someone asks, could the megalodon still be alive? The honest answer isn't no. The honest answer is, we don't know. And that uncertainty is what keeps fishermen looking over their shoulders. It's what keeps deep-sea divers reporting shadows they can't explain. It's what makes the Bloop, that mysterious 1997 recording, still feel like a warning we chose to ignore. The truth is, humanity loves to believe it has conquered this planet. We built cities, we split the atom, we landed on the moon. But every time we get too confident, the ocean reminds us who really runs this world. The megalodon may be extinct, or it may be cruising silently, 8 kilometers beneath the surface, in waters no human eye has ever seen, waiting for the day we finally dive too deep. And when that day comes, we may learn the hardest lesson of all. We were never really at the top of the food chain. We were just lucky that whatever's down there hadn't come looking for us yet. If this video gave you chills, smash that like button, subscribe for more deep-sea mysteries, and tell me in the comments, do you believe the megalodon is still alive? See you in the next mystery.